It's okay. Relax. Everything's fine. It's okay. Bill here, we're going to talk about the coronavirus and how it may affect your eBay or e-commerce business and reselling in general today on the ChaChing Show. I kid you a little bit. Wouldn't have helped me anyway. There's no filter in it. Alright, so I wanted to drop this video real quick. I wanted to make a comprehensive video on the subject, and this is going to be the last video that I'm going to make on this subject for a while, and hopefully get right back into reselling. But unfortunately, as most of you know, you go to any news site, this subject is going to be permeating the entire hemisphere of everything. That's the coronavirus, panic, all that great stuff. I wanted to talk about basically some really easy precautions you can take, not just physically for yourself as a reseller, but for your business as well. And I want to get into how the coronavirus is going to affect not only your health, but your business as a reseller, whether you sell on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, or have a standalone e-commerce site. It will affect you in some way. So a lot of you ask, am I still outsourcing? Yeah, I source almost every single day. I haven't changed up a whole lot of stuff that's been going on in the background. You guys may remember I showed you a couple days ago how to make your own hand sanitizer. It's sold out everywhere, and I'm sorry to say for a lot of you, and there I go touching my face, for a lot of you, touched it again, you can't even find the precursors to make this hand sanitizer now, the alcohol and the aloe vera gel. You may have luck in your area. Mine is all sold out, but I have enough to make my own hand sanitizer for probably the next few months. It only cost me a few bucks. And on top of that, I want to thank, sorry, I don't remember your name, reached out to me and told me about a great product. I told you I don't wear gloves, especially at the bins, but that has actually changed this last week. Just as an extra precaution, I went out and took this person's recommendation and got these nitrile gloves. I've tried latex gloves before. I don't have an allergy to latex in the least. I just don't like them. To me, I can't really feel anything, texture. With these, my hands don't sweat as much as they would in latex gloves, and I actually can grip things a lot better with these over latex gloves. And these are only about $2. I went to my local Walmart, tons of them. Secret is you have to look in the automotive section. There was a ton of them. I got this for $2, and I got a giant box of like 200 of them for I think $14. So I'm set on that. As you know, eBay has banned the sale of hand sanitizers and face masks for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that will increase the number available to the general public. Don't go out and buy these. I know I've sold these on eBay. I don't have a problem with that. But these masks here really don't, if you look at the statistics and numbers, they don't do anything unless you're sick, and then it may prevent the transmission of some particles. I have heard of people spritzing these down with water every 2 minutes, and it supposedly holds in or holds out more bacteria than normal. I just have these in case I happen to get sick. In reality, the only way you're going to avoid inhalation of the coronavirus is to get something like a full-on actual bio-level face mask that covers your entire face like this. That's about the only thing on the market that you're going to find that will actually do anything. Do you need it? I don't think you do. I'm still in that camp. I don't think it's going to be as bad as most people think. One thing you can do, and I've said it over and over and over, is wash your flipping hands. Like I said, you can't find hand sanitizer at Walmart. You can't find masks at Walmart. You can't even find bottled water at Walmart or bleach. One thing they have a ton of, I've been to 2 Walmarts in the past 3 or 4 days, tons of hand soap. They're fully stocked. It doesn't even look like the shelves were touched. That tells me that people aren't buying hand soap and they aren't washing their flipping hands. Drives me nuts. So, I mean, those are some basic preps that, you can do. Don't go out and spend a lot of money on a bunch of bottled water. I live here in Iowa. We have floods, we have tornadoes, we have harsh winters, we have harsh summers, sometimes we have brownouts, all kinds of stuff. I store water in 2-liter used bottles, and I have probably 30 or 40 of them in a closet with a little bit of food. This is something we do here in this part of the country that comes naturally. We don't look at it as prepping. It's just, here's some stuff we have in case stuff happens. So, I don't see a big run on a lot of things in the near future other than those basic items. Although I will say the price of MREs on eBay has doubled in price. If you go onto eBay and you look at the historical figures, it has quite literally doubled in price. So now that we're done with the taking care of yourself, let's get into the business side of it. How will it affect you? If you saw on Monday there was a big crash, correction, whatever you want to call it, on the stock market. A lot of people are pretty scared. What that means is a lot of people are liquidating their assets on the market. Does that directly relate to consumer activity? Probably not. I'm invested. I don't talk about my investments, and I don't make recommendations. So you go ahead and do, your own risk evaluations there. But I'm keeping my assets still on the market. I'm not that worried about it. One thing you might look at, and this was mentioned by the Bonafide Hustler not too long ago today. He streamed a video talking about potential things to take advantage of as far as the coronavirus and reselling in the market. If you are invested in the market, you might look at streaming services like Netflix, Disney Plus, because people are not going to want to be leaving their homes, especially if you're self-quarantined or stuff, and you might go and get yourself a subscription to Netflix, Disney Plus, name your service, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and perhaps some of these companies could be worth investing just for that subscriber acquisition they may get. I don't know. Do your own research. And the question is, will people buy more on eBay and Amazon because of the coronavirus? Maybe. People tend to do things that are self-preserving. When you're a child, if there's a hot pan or cup, you don't touch it. It's automatic self-preservation, but you really want what's inside that cup. So while you might self-quarantine, you're going to want to be close to your normal life as possible. I see, just like I did after 9/11, there was a big uptick in sales on eBay, just like the market crash in 2009. I see in the next 60 to 90 days a major uptick, in my opinion, of people buying on the secondary market on places like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, all these places. Will they be buying new or used items? That's hard to say. I don't know. Many people are afraid of buying used items because potentially the coronavirus could be on them. I've heard anywhere from 8 to 10 days on a surface. It could remain potentially. I've also heard that there's no real risk with boxes. So, that's really hard to say. We don't have enough information about that yet. As far as sourcing, are places like Goodwill, thrift stores, are they going to close? Maybe. There are some small mom and pop thrift stores that if there's not any employees to run them, they will have to shut down for a small period of time. Well, big thrift stores like, Goodwill, Salvation Army, will they close? That's hard to say. I don't see it happening. There was this last week on one of the Facebook groups that I'm not even going to name because I'm not even going to give it publicity because it's ridiculous. But a lot of the founding members there had taken some pictures at a local Goodwill, and it says, "We are closed indefinitely," and it turned out it was a water main break. They were going to be closed for about 2 weeks for repair. So that's what that was. Like I said, I'm not even going to give them the time of day. Don't pay attention to a lot of these groups. Some of them are good, and some of them just spread fear and just nonsense. Things are going to close. There's going to be events that are going to close, especially outdoor events. My wife works for a pretty decent nonprofit in the Omaha metropolitan area, and this week, in fact today, they announced that they are canceling an event that was widely publicized and heavily invested in marketing for, just out of the blue. We don't want to take that chance. So don't be surprised if a lot of these things close. Will there be garage sales this season? Yeah, there's going to be. Is there going to be less? Maybe, maybe not. That's why you want to work on figuring out, if you have this extra spare time that you may be home, maybe you're self-quarantined, or maybe you don't want to go out, list those items, hit that death pile, and do some market research on, what sells and what sells really well, maybe in your niche or another niche you don't know anything about. The thing that I have done for the last 15 years, every night before I go to bed, is I will look at different sold items on eBay, and it gives me an idea of what sells in certain, different niches. Am I an expert in all things? Absolutely not. But if you have this free time, maybe it's time to do some research and maybe find a niche that you're really good at or want to know more about. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I didn't mention. Just list, and list. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. List. People can't buy it if it's not listed. People are going to panic regardless of what happens. Is it the biggest deal in the world? Don't show them your bad side. Don't do that. Is it, the end of the world? No. Are people going to get sick? Are some people going to die? Yeah. Like the flu. So list, and chill out. That's my biggest recommendation for your business. And do that research, and spend time with your family. It's a scary time, but there's no reason that we can't, all come together and figure this out. So that's all I had to really say. Changes are going to come with reselling. I don't think it's going to be that affected, but use this time. Use it wisely. Chill out. List. So we'll see you later.